Greetings, mortals, and welcome back to Baldur's Gate.
Eventually, because it turns out that I did not actually open either Baldur's Gate or Steam. So we're going to go ahead and do that, which will just take a bit. So I am, of course, very, very late, but that's okay. We are going to... I don't think we're going to be able to finish Baldur's Gate before I head to Canada, which is totally fine. I can finish it up while I'm there. The scheduling will be a little wonky, but that's okay. It should be a good time. Distracted by all these pop-ups. All these advertisements for new things that I haven't purchased. So, let's see here. I think that was like a Dead by Daylight expansion or something that it was advertising. Dead by Daylight is a really interesting game that I wish that I had the time and energy to get better at. I love like asymmetrical PvP. Asymmetrical PvP is a lot of fun. You know, I generally like it in real life. I haven't really done it in games. We're adventurers. Why are we having stuttering issues? That dog is going to tear me to shreds, isn't it? Nope. Bad near. Yeah, that thing has a very fast, very quick response time. It's almost like Hobgoblin 2.0. I don't actually know if I can get to where I'm going from here. Because I seem to recall there not being an eastern exit here. So we're going to try to go south. And does that lead us... Yes, it does. So we got to the Cloud Peaks. What? Oh, it's tagging. We're sorry. Alright. So we're heading to Cloud Peaks. And now that we're here, we can... Oh, well, you know, that's fine. So we've got ice trolls here, or snow trolls. Same difference. And we can... Oh, they're going after the initiates. Speaking of which, alright, so we should go ahead and use a whole person on y'all. And you can use... Alright, so that's done. Okay, we're going to command you. It's not going to work, but we're going to command you. Alright, so I think I'm probably going to want to reload this. I think some of the acolytes have died. And that's not something I want to allow. Okay, so we need to do some fire damage. Who has fire damage? You have fire damage. Well. So she's blinded. Okay, that thing is down, and Dark Moon Acolyte did fire damage. How did it do fire damage? Isn't that the boy? It's weird. It should be her talking. Okay, renounce the worship of John. It's in number one. Glad to hear it. Whisperer in the Darkness absolutely sounds like some Lovecraftian horror. Oh. And monsters wake me from my rest. Okay. Hopefully we at some point manage to actually sleep. Let's see here. Do we want to web them? I'm going to throw a web over here. Alright, so do I have anything I can use? So I've already used my healing, right? Oh, but I actually got an extra casting of Draw Upon Holy Might anyway. That's nice. Alright, so we need to have Rasad burn this thing, I guess. Nope, that's not it. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. I actually do not have a lot in terms of, like, fire. So, she has a fire stick, I guess. On a critical hit, this does fire damage, right? No. I don't like how all these things are now only usable by the NPCs that start with them. I don't like that change. I do not approve. Actually, I have something that does. Do I have it? Or I might not have it actually. Thinking of the Burning Earth. I don't have the Burning Earth. Alright, so we don't have a weapon that does fire damage. So I guess we're just gonna have to shoot this thing. Alright. We're unfortunately probably gonna need quite a few of those eventually. Just gonna wait for this to go. We are going to drop on Holy Might and take a nap. Alright, so we actually did manage to nap properly this time. So what we can do is we can unequip this. And I'm looking forward to being able to kick Rasad, actually, because I like him as a character, actually. He's a cool character, but right now, for Legacy of Ball mode, I think I'd prefer to have a somewhat more impactful fighter. Let's see here. What was I doing? I had something I wanted to do. Yes, we were taking off our armor to cast Stone Skin. Okay. That's the wrong thing to do. But yeah, we should be able to improve our AC by a bit on Silria. We have a couple more points of AC that we can pick up in a variety of ways. These probably use bludgeoning, do you think? It's either bludgeoning or slashing. And one thing that I could do to kill them if I felt like being really lazy. So let's take a look here. It's 5, 4. That was okay. So it just missed on an 18. So that's good to know. And yeah, I'm gonna swap her to a short bow as her secondary weapon. Where are you? There. Easy peasy. So basically she can take a quick pot shot, but she's not usually attacking, so this will work quite well. So I'm just going to be wandering around. These things seem to have an AI that focus fires, and I had a suspicion that was going to happen, actually. All right. Trolls are super interesting. They're very difficult to actually, like, represent in game in any meaningful way. Like, dealing with trolls, I remember reading a book. I'm trying to remember what the book was. But the mechanisms that you have to go about dealing with trolls with are just super interesting because, unlike, you know, other creatures, trolls have, like, basically perfect regeneration, right? So trolls will just regenerate from no matter what, and the probably the only thing that keeps their populations under control, because, like, well, if they regenerate anytime, like, so as an example, anytime a troll loses a limb, you now have 2 trolls, right? And it won't be instantaneous, right? The regen isn't instantaneous, but you're going to have to deal with 2 trolls. So anytime there's a major battle, the trolls are basically just replicating by the battle. And the only way to deal with that is to completely torch the entire body. Not just do 1 point of fire damage, but the only damage they will not regenerate from is fire or acid damage, right? You basically have to break down the molecules that make up the troll in order to be able to actually kill one. So what's interesting about that, there's actually quite a few things that are interesting about that. But one of the things that's interesting about that is the way that people go about, like, sort of dealing with trolls. And one of the things that's kind of interesting about it is if you look at... she doesn't have stone skin anymore, so apparently those trolls did a lot of work just now. She doesn't need to worry about this thing, because with the Belt of Antipode, she's immune to this thing's attacks. But trolls basically are cannibalistic. And so the reason that troll numbers don't get out of control is not because of something inherent to their physicality, but because they'll just eat each other. So as an example, when the number of trolls doubles, they're going to start eating each other until they reach a sort of equilibrium where there's only, you know, this, you know, there's some, you know, X quantity of trolls based off of how, you know, a variety of factors. I don't know, you know, how the equilibrium is established, right? I don't know what the mechanisms for that would be. That's really funny, though. Look, this poor fucking thing. I wonder if there's... This thing's attacking severely. I don't want that. I mean, it's non-lethal damage, but I still don't want it. You know what? We're gonna deal with it by just nuking or holding it. Or not. Huh. Okay, there's 2. Oh, right. They're only doing non-lethal damage with their fists, but they're also doing cold damage, which, the people who aren't immune to cold will actually take quite a lot of damage from these. I was thinking, oh, well, I'm perfectly safe because blah, 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 blah. No, they're doing non-lethal damage with only half of their damage. Okay. And I should have this active at all times. So there was a caravan over here. Did I loot that? I did, yeah. Alright, so this is presumably leading on with the mission. Okay, that was a winter wolf. Winter wolves are easy enough to deal with. Because they don't actually do any piercing damage. They do exclusively cold damage, so they're very easy to just burn down. They're not like people that have fire swords and things like that, where it does a mixture of slashing and fire damage. Alright, so we've got a decent portion of this area cleared already. I don't think it'll take too long to finish things up. So I saw a troll over here, and I actually already fought it. There's a troll cave here. I like how there's the fireball potions. Oh, I can't go in here. Okay, so that's that then. Continuing onward. But yeah, now that it's like the 31st and I'm almost positive I'm not going to be able to finish things before I go, that actually takes quite a lot off of my plate. Being able to just go, oh, okay, I can just relax and enjoy myself and not worry about, you know, getting the content. Alright, so let's see here. There's one down. I'm not gonna have her do that. I think it's generally optimal to split up your usages of things like hold person and whatever between your party members, so that you are sort of maximizing your ability to cast as many as possible in a short time period. So you want to sort of even out your spell casting. So obviously I have a lot of them on Silria, so you want to plow through her extras before you start using other people's castings. There are certain situations where that is the opposite of what you want to do, but they're relatively few and far between. Usually you want to well, they're I did not see what the thing that you're talking about, but I would say that the Descent into Avernus thing sounds very much like Baldur's Gate 3, or at the very least Baldur's Gate 3 friendly. And considering the way that Dungeons and Dragons is currently handling themselves, the kinds of stuff that they're doing. Sure, go for it. Unfortunately, I'm probably not going to see it because you know what? I'll click on it actually, just so that we can talk about it reasonably. We just started; things are slow. We can. The thing is that I wouldn't actually scroll back to find it later, so let's take a look. So what is that logo? Where did that logo come from? And what is Larian Studios? That would be really cool. Yeah, Baldur's Gate 3 would be a really cool thing, and it would not surprise me at all. Because the excuse me. Dungeons & Dragons has been more aggressive recently about making other things, and it makes perfect sense. Haven't we heard that name before? Sune is a moon goddess, right? Like Shar is darkness and Sune is moon. Why are they the Sun Soul monks if they worship a moon goddess? This just... You'd think this would have occurred to me earlier. But... Oh god. Never trust the Shadow Weave. What? That looks so bad now. I just now noticed just how bad this is getting. I don't know what's going on with the lighting in my room. I'll have to tinker with this eventually. Sorry. Let's see. What about all these minions of yours? I don't suppose they'll stand aside while we take you apart. Oh man. Saw that coming. That's true, I cannot kill my brother. Yeah, let me send this wave of completely helpless initiates after you. Do we want to just cast a web? They're kind of split up a bit, so I think it makes a lot of sense for me to... Okay, they're random... They're targeting random people. They're not targeting who I want them to target. Where the hell are y'all going? Okay, so some of them are mages. That's good to know. Right, well, that sucked. It's gonna end badly. I didn't think that they were mages. I thought that they were just like random peasants. Why would a mage want to become a monk? This is weird. Have we heard that name before? It sounds familiar. Not severe. Aldrea would heartily disapprove. Aldrea would be like, nope. You are a weak, pathetic fool that needs to die. If you were strong, then you would do the job yourself. The fact that you're too weak to get the job done just demonstrates the feeble, lie that is your fucking moral philosophy. Look, I never claimed that Aldrea was nice. It's funny because you have all these characters who have these gods and goddesses of strength and whatever, and the fun part about it for me is just that I have a deity like that, right? In the sense that it's a deity who is all about strength and power. But the key is that deity looks at all these other deities and thinks of them as basically just disgusting, weak, pathetic fools, right? So these things are, it looks like... Oh, God, this AI is annoying as fuck. Okay, so... because they're continuously swapping targets to get to. I need to turn off my AI. So you need to be commanded. And we can go ahead and blind it. If it's blind, then it won't attack anyone who's out of melee range. And yeah, it looks like it's going. These guys are exclusively going to focus fire the person. Whoever in range has the lowest AC, or sorry, the highest AC. So, given that AI expectation, I'm gonna just dump a web on them. It's simpler than dealing with them in another way. So that was definitely your brother? Maybe he presented you. Oh, he worships Salome, not Sunni. Is there a difference? Sure, like the fault lies with the Hamas, not you. You held back to save his feelings, but you ended up making him weak by not testing him to his limits. The important thing is you can still kick his ass, right? Alright, well, I gotta go with number one. You should endeavor to learn from your mistake. Aldrea would not approve, and she's not in this party, but she is still looking on very... with a finger wave, like this, doing a finger wag. But it's kind of... one of the things that's kind of fun is to, you know, the gods in my setting are very different than the gods in other settings. And so, like, when gods in other settings, you know, talk about, you know, ooh, you know, strife and, you know, blah, 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 makes you strong and blah, blah, blah. They're not... Nobody actually believes that, right? They don't actually behave in a way that justifies believing that they think that in any reasonable way. It's just a means of them sort of consolidating power into themselves and doing things, you know. They're not true adherents to power, right? And with a character like Aldrea, and, you know, because, you know, gods are characters too. When you have a character like that, she is 100% of the belief that power and strength... Well, actually, that's not true. It's not that she thinks that might makes right. It's that she believes wholeheartedly that all evil is fundamentally born of weakness. And that strength is how you combat evil, because evil is weakness, right? And that's its inherent nature. So you end up with different kind of stuff. Like, so as an example, this guy sending his minions to attack us, he's already demonstrated that he is himself weak, right? He is not a... he is undeserving of the ideology that he ostensibly serves, as is, you know, the other guy, right? Because we've established that Allergaz basically ganged up on him, right? And that is like a standard practice for these people, right? Is they gang up on people and attack them in, you know, the dark of night and all that kind of stuff. And while sneak attacks and things like that are not things that Aldrea would necessarily disapprove of exactly, because it's just another form of strength. You have, when you start ganging up on someone and then pretending that you're stronger than them because you've ganged up on them, that's not strength in Aldrea's mind, right? Not to any meaningful degree. As for which chapter this isn't actually in one of the chapters exactly. So this is a place that is only for Rasad's quest. So Rasad's quest has a new area of the map that is unlocked, and you get to, you know... Oh, Jesus! Speaking of Rasad. Hello. Well played, by the way. It never would have occurred to me that this platform was a trap. It should, but with the way that Baldur's Gate does its traps generally, the trap design and trap placement, it wouldn't have occurred to me, because that's just not the way that Baldur's Gate usually puts its traps around. So, this is Baldur's Gate 1. This is Baldur's Gate 1. So, the way that you get to this area is you need to have Rasad in the party for long enough that he's told you about his brother, I think. And then in South Center Baldur's Gate, you will run into an encounter with some Dark Moon monks. And once you run into the encounter with the Dark Moon monks, it sends you on sort of like a merry little chase to find what's going on, and et cetera, yada yada yada. And the trail eventually leads to here. This is the, you know, this is where the monks are organized from. So, I love invisibility, by the way. Invisibility is such an amazing spell. It's just so good. It's good. So... That's interesting. I can't even see him. This, by the way, is the core of feudalism. This is where feudalism comes from. And I guess that's part of why it is that most of these gods behave this way. I am not in Vancouver yet, no. I will be leaving either tonight or tomorrow night. I'm actually not sure when I'm leaving. My wife presumably knows. What does this even mean? This dialogue option doesn't make any sense. Who's gonna say, you should do it, Rasad? You should kill all of us. That's gonna go well for us. Like, this dialogue option doesn't make any sense. I'm gonna go with number 1. I mean, you have fun with that, but no, it's not going to happen because we're not actually. Wait. Okay, so it looks like Gamaz has wandered off. That's so funny. I'm kind of surprised actually that the thing bugged out because of me wandering around invisible and going on to the next area with an invisible character. I should probably file that as a bug report, actually. Because he shouldn't have initiated, but more importantly, this should be a party-required area. Yeah, this is gonna... Is it just gonna keep bugging out as long as I'm over here? Oh god. Yeah, we're not moving over here. Okay. Okay. Give me a second. What is this place called? This place is the Cloud Peak Temple. So I'm just gonna write a note to myself here to, because I don't actually remember how to file a bug report for this, but that's fine. So alright. Excuse me. Nice, congrats. One thing that's important is if you have enough DPS, you can kind of get through a lot of stuff, either via RNG or just by, getting things dealt with before they become an issue. Like, if you're really steamrolling, you do have the ability to just be like, oh, well, sure, there's a small possibility this guy gets to use his abilities, but most likely he won't get to use it at all, and then he just dies. And let's see. You can learn this, so let's do this to you. I have way too much random bullshit in my inventories. way too much random bullshit in my inventory. Okay, any other? Yes, I do. I have more arrows of fire. Let's see. These 2 bullets. Where did... Potions. Yay, inventory management. The best part of all games. Oh, that's nice. Oh, well, that's really cool. That would actually work really well against a thing that has the ability to instigate your cards as well, because if you have the cost of each of your cards, and then each time you put it into, every time you use it, you end up getting a free one. I mean, that's a really potent combination to deal with insta-gives. Free. It's basically free, right? So, let's see. We're going to drop in here. And we're going to walk over to the archer. Alright, so these 3 are all held. We're going to dive you. Oh, whoops. Mistakes were made. Now, you are going to actually cast another whole person on this one. Yeah, that's a really cool deck. I approve. You only draw 1 card every turn, right? Okay, so I think we can probably... Oh, nice! I like it. Hearthstone's a really cool game. I like those kinds of card games that are, just there's just so much insanity that can be done. I love theory crafting and like coming up with builds and things like that. I find that to be incredibly fun. So for me, those kinds of card games are really really cool. I don't really play them much at all, but I still, I appreciate just hearing about the shenanigans that people are doing with those kinds of games. When oh, Jesus Christ. Hello, Rando Calrissian. Was not expecting this guy to just randomly show up. She's gonna die. No, she's not. She might. Oh, good. He's casting some stupid spell that he doesn't need to cast. Okay. I'll go ahead and cast Command. Okay, that one's held. That's closer than it needed to be. Nice. Yeah, that's pretty crazy. That's very nice. Yeah, the key with deck building is that you don't know which cards you're going to get, and you don't know what you're going to need, because it depends on what the enemy draws as well. So the key is basically trying to come up with a deck where no matter what you end up drawing, it's always going to be some overpowered nonsense that obliterates your enemies. Right? That's my, you know, that's what I think should be the case. So like there's always going to be that degree of RNG. It's just a matter of whether the RNG is the thing that allows you to succeed, or if the RNG determines the manner in which you succeed, right? And those are two very, very different things. Let's see here. Okay, we can cast a web over here. Do we have another webcaster? Yes, we do. So we're going to cast 2 webs over here, just for the hell of it. We're going to cast 1 web over here. What did she... So I think she cast an AoE weaken. Or something. Okay. Why can't you move? Wait, did she cast an AoE self... She cast an AoE centered on herself weaken spell. God damn it, Mira. That's glorious. I'm so happy. Okay, we're going to cast a hold person on this one if we can. The answer is yes, and we got all 3. Perfect. So you can get in there. Okay, Nira, you need to pull out because you're gonna literally kill yourself. Let's see. Six foot. Oh, nice. Yeah, that's really cool. Because the more of those that you start putting into their deck, the more, you know, deadly it is. You may not rest here. Either find an inn or rest outside. That's actually really funny. You know, that's the exact kind of thing that I would expect the WoW player base, which, you know, Blizzard games, they're all from the Diablo player base, right? That's exactly the kind of build that I would expect Blizzard players to come up with. You know, I don't want to win. I just want to prevent my opponent from winning, because screw that guy. How can I waste the most time of the most people? I know. Let's see. Most people are not actually willing to invest that much of the time. An interesting question. How does the fatigue system work? Is it like if you run out of cards, you start taking damage? Shocking. Why was it using shocking? Are they cold-oriented, or are they electric-oriented, or both? So this monk... Batty Mick Batterson. Okay. And this is why... Jeez. Let's see. So basically, if they came across a DK set, then the... Oh, okay. So basically, the game ends automatically at round 89. Is it when you run out of cards in the deck, or when you run out of cards in your hand? Presumably the deck, right? So yeah, presumably it would be pretty difficult to actually get through that much armor. Though you could conceivably do it with like instant death effects, right? So blue mages or blue decks are alive and well in this game. Let's see. This is going to be a whole summon monster, I assume. Oh, no, that's just armor? Oh, well. Mistakes were made, friend. Oh, shit. Yeah, mistakes were made. Okay. You died this one. This thing is not going to swap targets, so we're going to... we could blind it. We're not going to. We're going to use a whole person on it. Who is the person who's least likely to... Okay. That situation's resolved. I find blue decks to be really interesting. Is there, do you have the ability to draw your enemy to death in Hearthstone? Like, are there decks that basically make them draw so many cards that they die? Because that, to me, is, like, the ultimate kind of troll. Oh, mill decks. Okay, gotcha. I think mill might even be the term that they used in the other one. Jesus Christ. That was a lot of damage. Not blind. It's been a while since I got a character chunked. Nice. I should have checked what she got hit on. She does have the girdle bluntness. See, these things hit ridiculously hard. So, if they actually... if they were actually using their abilities properly... Or, sorry, if they actually had their, effects going off properly, they would be really hard. But as it is, they use Chill Touch, and then as soon as they use Chill Touch, then they just become a joke. Because, at least I think it's Chill Touch. It's whatever it is that was causing that. Yep, 4 points of non-lethal damage. That sure is a lot nicer to have coming at me than the 40 fucking damage. It's like, you guys are hitting for less damage than Gibberlings. Da, da, da. That was all complete gibberish to me. Let's see. I know you. Let's see. How's that song go? I know you like something you once. I don't know. I don't know how to do that. I don't remember the song. How does that song go? Now I'm annoyed with myself. So this sets your strength to 19 and your intelligence to 6. So this is a pretty interesting belt. Let's go ahead and equip it on her. That makes sense. Let's see here. So, reduced intelligence seems like it would be very bad for my mages, which is to say everyone in my party. But it's only bad when you go to memorize spells, and I can always remove the thing for that. The question is whether I'm going to remember to or not. I think we're going to give it to her. That'll help her Thaco considerably. And she really does need better Thaco than she's got. So, this is plus 2 Thaco and plus 4 damage. So that's pretty solid. I like it. It doesn't affect her ability to cast spells, just to learn them, so... not to use scrolls, yes, but I don't actually use consumables. So since I'm not actually using consumables anyway, for my purposes, it only affects the ability to learn spells. That's what it's trying to do. That is what it's trying to do. So when I had her come in here, it was trying to have him trigger this dialogue, because the dialogue is presumably area specific. So it's trying to do the See Those Cages dialogue, but that's not. So now I know what it is. And because the See Those Cages dialogue doesn't happen when it triggers it, it triggers that other dialogue instead. I'm quite happy. Now we know what's going on there. So we've got some... Jesus! Okay, well, that was a mistake. I forgot to turn off the AI. Do these have... whoops. Area transitions are annoying. Okay. See. Yeah, that seems like a pretty powerful effect. We're going to go ahead and turn off our AI. And we're going to continue onward. Let's see. I would prefer that you not use that word reload. Reload. It's no problem. I know that that's used in a lot of circles very casually, but I would prefer that. I would prefer consistency in regard to the kind of terminology that I don't allow. And while I understand that I certainly grew up with that being totally normal, and you know, I just prefer that we keep it consistent. Let's see here. So we've got some spiders. Okay, so this is a really small area, actually. Let's see. I should actually come up with a. Oh Jesus! Okay, so I stand corrected about them doing less damage than Gibberlings. It turns out Gibberlings are really weak. Do I want to use Hold Person on them? Hit me for 2 damage. Okay, I'm afraid this bear is gonna do that. You know what we're gonna do? We're gonna cast another web, I think. We could just blind it. We'll blind it. Okay, it's blinded. It's a -4 to hit. And hopefully we'll be able to burn it down. Why do they have so many random critters in here? It occurs to me that I did not give myself the most efficient. Okay, we do not have too much here. Dr. Boom. That sentence just sounds funny, by the way. The weakest Death Knight was probably Warrior. Just sounds like trash-talking warriors. Like, if a Death Knight gets weak enough, they become a warrior instead. As someone who, again, like, I really enjoy like this kind of the kind of game that you're talking about, but I don't know anything about it. So coming in from a perspective of complete ignorance, it's just really funny. If a Death Knight gets sufficiently weak, they actually devolve into warriors. I'm easily amused, don't mind me. Okay, she just hurt herself, right? Okay. Oh, nice. And you don't know which cages? This is a question. Don't ask them a question. Use statements. Let's see. He just answered a question. He should be dead. Alright, this should be simple enough. Okay, so one of them has to tell the truth and one of them has to lie. So, if I recall correctly, the answer to any, like, truth or lie puzzle is you ask what the other person would say. So, if you ask the liar what truth teller would say, then they will tell you the wrong answer, right? If you ask the truth teller to what the liar would say, it gives you the wrong answer. So basically, you can tell which of the cages is the incorrect cage, right? By asking what the other would say with 100% consistency, as long as they both always... they are consistent in their methodology. Okay, so... Okay, which cage will the other prisoner tell me is safe to open? So if the other prisoner will tell me that it's safe to open the other cage, then it is safe to open this cage. But it's locked. Do I have to unlock it? Yes. No chance of that. Now that I'm free of the cage, you'll never see me again. So, who are you? So who's the other prisoner? So I did not actually get the opportunity to kill the spy. But I actually really like logical puzzles as well. The only problem with logical puzzles is that we don't really create enough of them. And since we don't create enough of them, you tend to run into the same puzzle a lot. So, as an example, with that puzzle, I didn't really figure out the solution so much as I vaguely recalled the solution and then put it on paper, and I'm like, yes, so this is exactly what would result. But it's because I kind of already knew the answer. Whereas it's actually a legitimately interesting puzzle. I don't know how long it would take, like, completely fresh for me to figure out the answer to that puzzle. Okay, so this is interesting. We are given... Oh, she doesn't have her sequencers. That's good to know. How am I going to handle this? I think I'm going to take off my Ring of Free Action. Does she want to keep hers on? No. So she's going to take her Ring of Free Action off as well, and we're going to haste everyone. Alright. Well, that's interesting. So presumably something is supposed to happen here. So we broke this. I don't know how we broke it. But we broke this sequence. Okay. Okay. So, I guess what we can do, since they're not going to do anything to me at first, is, I guess start blinding people. We're going to cast... we're going to just cast a single web. And he's been held. Oh, right, I unequipped the thingers. So we're going to attack you. Uh-oh. I'm concerned about the fact that Gamaz has not re-aggroed. The fact that Gamaz is not re-aggroed indicates to me... You know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to reload the quick save, and hopefully the quick save... Okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to just punch him in the face. Okay, well, it looks like we just broke this quest. Gamaz simply is not aggroing. Interestingly enough, his allies aren't aggroing when I beat the shit out of him either. Oh good, he's aggroing now. Yeah, that was interesting. So... Huh. I wonder how far the range is on that. No, bad Mira. Okay. So that one's held. Unfortunately, this is just going to be kind of a quick and easy pounding. At least that's my assumption. I'm going to go ahead and cast a web over here. Because we've got like a lot of low-level friends over here. This is not a terribly high-level area, so their saving throws are pretty trash. Let's see here. You had a ring, didn't you? Where did I put your ring? Her inventory for some reason. Okay, so she's held. And I have the stick equipped like an idiot. That one's blinded now. I'm gonna go ahead and blind this one as well. Never mind. Okay, stacking Silria. It looks like as long as she's held, she's not gonna aggro for some reason. Okay, so she has still not aggroed. And I think that you can't actually beat him before his allies go down. So... This is so funny. This is the kind of weird bugs that just crop up in the Infinity Engine, where it's just like, how do you even prevent this bug from happening? It's just such a very... How do you identify how it happened in the first place is a non-trivial problem. So he's not going to aggro. But he might still attack me without having aggro. Let's see here. I can't use Malison on him because he's not hostile. Doesn't matter, he's blind. Poor Gamaz. Oh shit! Oh man. Please tell me that I didn't even save after I killed everything. I should have just saved after I killed everything. Okay, so now we have to kill everything again because I'm an idiot. Oh god. No! You're supposed to use your things! Also, Jesus Christ. The first hit just smacks her right through all those mirror images. Them RNGs. You go ahead and cast the whole person. That's a problem. It's gonna be really funny if she dies. Oh, I have 3 whole persons left. The fuck was that? Oh. So she just snared herself accidentally and then I get chunked. Alright, sleep well, Reload. Okay, let's try this again. So we're gonna punch you. And you have the ability to cast Hold Person. There we go. The reason that I wasn't really saving before was because I was kind of hoping that the problem would fix itself. The problem did not fix itself. Let's see here. Okay, so we can now cast a web. You are going to need to put on your free action ring. You are going to need to equip your free action sword. You are going to need to equip this. And now we are good to go. Hypothetically. Nope. 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 That's bad. So this one in the back does not appear to aggro with the rest of them for some reason. God damn it, Nira. Right. So for whatever reason, that one doesn't aggro with the rest of them aggro, which is fine. So everybody's alive. We're going to go ahead and save. We're going to pop back over here. We're going to start beating the shit out of this one. That was a mistake. There we go. And there it goes. Okay, so we can cast Blind. He's aggroed in the sense that he's attacking me. He's not aggroed in the sense that he's not hostile. He's now blinded. So I could hypothetically just beat him to death from range at this point. Don't really have... a stellar option here. Okay, so he's held, and we should hopefully be able to just burst him down. Hopefully we didn't break... Hopefully he doesn't completely break here. He's broken. He's not going to trigger his death speech, I don't think. Alright, well, he is... he's not going to trigger his death speech, so... Okay, so... Alright, so come on. Completely... You have no idea how many times this has happened to me in an Infinity Engine game where I somehow managed to find a way to just completely break everything. There was a lich that I managed to break the death speech of in Throne of Ball because basically they're in an area where the fuck. Hi, Bassano, how's it going? Basically, they're supposed to be immune to turn undead. And they are immune to turn undead, kind of. They're immune to turn undead from everyone except evil clerics. So evil clerics can still use turn undead on them. And they're really high level, so it's not easy to do. But my Viconia is a single class cleric, and she was very high level, so she could just she was actually able to use turn undead successfully on the thing and get it to run away. But because it was running away from the turn undead, it broke its death script. There is a dragon in the same expansion that
has the ability to maze your protagonist. So if it mazes your protagonist, and then you kill it, you drop it to 1 HP, it's supposed to do its death speech. But if your protagonist is mazed when it drops to 1 HP, it will not actually trigger its death speech because it's talking to you and you are not a target because it's mazed you. And the funny thing is that it opens the fight with maze. You'd think that this is something that would have been troubleshooted, by the original developers a million years ago. And it simply wasn't. They never figured it out. But it kept happening to me over and over again because my protagonist kept getting mazed. I say over and over again. It happened like twice before I figured out what was going on. But I'm just very good at breaking things. So we're not going to be able to finish this quest, it looks like. The Rasad's quest is not going to be finished because he's... I broke it. It broke, so we're not completing it. So we did get the most important thing out of this, so that's useful. And I guess we're ready to go to Durlag's Tower again now. The question is who we want to bring as our final party member along. It would be nice to have another cleric. I don't want to bring Viconia, I don't think. I think I probably want that multi-class cleric. What's his name? The other person that I could bring is I could bring Kagan. Is that his name? Is it Kagan or Kagan? I think it's Kagan. Because he's very potent. And he would give me a regenerating fighter, which is a really convenient thing to fight certain types of enemies with. But Yeslik is a really good choice. I think Yeslik might be the better choice. Yeslik is probably the better choice. That allows me to tank with Silria without causing problems. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a couple of naps here. The first nap is going to be used to get our sequencers available. Before we do any napping, though, we're going to talk to Bentley. I'm going to talk to Bentley with you. And we're not going to sell the Wand of Fire. We are going to sell these two. We're going to sell all the just random +1s. If it doesn't have any special characteristics, then I don't need it. Oh, I thought I put her in charge. Whoops. Doesn't really make that big a difference. Promise. I'm gonna keep the Warhammer. Don't think I need the flail +1. If I really want to use the flail, I can just get the Stupefier. I don't think the practical defense has any practical use. So I think we're gonna just sell that. And let's see. Leather +1, do not need. Probably don't need the Wand of Thinger either. Oh, I could actually get rid of the Chesley Crusher. Looks like I don't need that. Probably not going to be using throwing daggers. Don't need a non-magical dagger. Or for that matter, a magical dagger. Spear +1. Don't think we need it. So the Chesley Crusher is basically like the +2 halberd that I had in the other inventory, just worse. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of that. And we do have Elbruin. Alright, anything that we want to buy? I don't think so. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and rent the Royal Suite. I should have had her use her drop on Holy Might, actually, but it's fine. Alright, so, unequip that armor. And we are going to cast Sequencer. So, I was actually thinking that we would be... Yes... My sequencer just break the game. Well, that's weird. Okay. I've just gotten the crash message of Baldur's Gate Enhanced Edition is not responding. If you close the project wherever you might lose information. In the background, it goes to like the white screen. You guys can't see it on the thing. I can see on the video. But it goes to the white screen of that application. The white screen of that application is the fight with Gamaz. It's not where I am right now. It's the fight with Gamaz for some reason. Okay, so that's interesting. We might have broken this game more than I thought. So, please tell me that I've already sold. I have not sold my shit. God damn it. God damn it. So we have to redo all this bullshit. God damn it. Okay, so sell this. Don't sell Albruin. Don't sell equipment displacement. Wounding. I'm gonna keep those actually. The robes are no, I'm gonna keep the robes just in case. The probability that I end up needing those robes is very low. I'm not actually gonna sell these warhammers yet. Do I need a +1 katana? Almost certainly not, right? We're keeping the splint mail for some very niche utility. Ashcore would approve. Keep the Statosphere. This. Alright, so we're gonna save this. Alright, so first of all, do you have the right thing? Yes. Okay. Okay, so take off the armor. Hopefully we can cast Spell Sequencer without breaking the game again. Okay. Minor Sequencer successfully cast. It's really too bad that you don't get bonus spells from intelligence. Did I... Because if you got bonus spells from intelligence, she would be so OP. Okay. I guess that's why. That's why they don't do it. Okay, so... Excuse me. And, okay, we're going to do some inventory maintenance here. Because we can and we should. And let's see here. She needs this. She doesn't actually need this. I'm going to put this in her inventory instead. Because she's more likely to need it. I think she's the only one who can use the Wand of the Heavens. Requires 9 intelligence, and it's only usable by priests, I think. So, let's see here. She can't actually use this because of her low intelligence now, and that's fine. We're going to go ahead and stick these into quick slots. Do we have any other magic missile? Yes, we do. Okay, we're going to go ahead and take all the magic missile things and put them in her inventory because her quick slots can be taken up by those, but other people can't. Or rather, but they can't be taken up by other things. Where's the ice? So we got Condor +1, switch for an engine, some random book, Yago's Book of Curses. This is a quest item that I need. I have an Elves Bane in her inventory for some reason. Girdle's Blunting, I think, is what that is. Okay, so now I got the Grave Binder. We got Buckley's Buckler. Shadowblade. This is a +3 short sword. This is a +3 short sword! Okay, that's great. So we can use this in the offhand. There is a +3 longsword, right? Because if there's no +3 longsword, I'm going to be in trouble here. Let's see here, and you'll see what I mean later. Eventually, I'm going to run into a creature that needs a +3 weapon to hit. So if I don't have a +3 weapon, then I'm boned. Anything else that I need to consolidate? Not yet. Okay, so he can take this and this. And he is a monk, so we'll just ignore him for now. Okay. Alright, we're going to take Yezlik along. We're going to remove Rasad. We're unfortunately not going to finish Rasad's quest. And he already has a +1 hammer. Did I sell my +1 medium shield? I think I did. I actually have a +1 medium shield just chilling on her. So we'll go ahead and equip that on her again. Let's see. So she has the Cloak of Balder on. Thanks for the follow, Grind Player. Who do we want to give this to? This gives a +2 bonus to all saving throws. +4 bonus versus... I'll give it to her. Anything else that we need to worry about? Yes, we need to give him full plate armor. And we need to give him the Gauntlets of Dexterity. There we go. So he's now got -7 AC, which is not too shabby. And he's now got -8 AC, which is pretty decent. And we can say, sup. So he's got a bunch of heals as his first level spells. Do we want anything else?
probably not, considering he is the secondary participant there. Do we want to get draw upon Holy Might? He's only a level 5 cleric. So he's going to get 2 more levels as we go through Durlags. And that should be fine. Is there someone else that we'd prefer to have compared to having another priest? I have 3 chance. I think this is fine. Gives us a bunch of hold person spells that we can use, and just in time to go into a dungeon full of like 0 humanoids. And do we want? I think we're actually going to do some prep work here. We're going to go back to Baldur's Gate. We have a certain wizard that we need to track down. And we're going to go ahead and get that done. Hey Bill, how's it going? Is this the right place? It's the Ducal Palace. It looks like we can just approach for now. Is this the north place, or is this the center? Purely. Such a liar. Well. Well, learn from your mistakes. Are you, though? Are you? Not so sure about that. I think that this might be one of those jokes where we're kind of joking, but at the same time, seriously, if you do run into this guy, no sense in showing you. Okay, so here's our friend. And unfortunately, we have to go past these guards. But they're both right there. So if I can go around this building, I might be able to sneak by them. The key here is that we are picking up one of the AC boosting items that will allow us to fully utilize the Balderon gear that we got before. Because right now, we aren't able to fully utilize it. What's your concern? So what do you want to do? Let's see. Okay. Sure, why not? So this is Rames's home. Where is the other guy's house? I don't remember. Keep your head down before they clip it from your shoulders, fool. People are saying you killed the leaders of the Iron Throne. There's a goodly price on your head. Don't you realize? So... Then why are you approaching me to talk to me? That's my question. Just northeast of the Hall of Wonders. Okay, so... Okay, somehow... I bet you aren't going to the inauguration ceremony. I've got an invitation just like everyone else in town. Well, that's interesting. Is this... Yes, it is. I love how his home is, like, labeled. Oh, that's interesting. We're meant to be together. What bandit dares enter the home of Ragafast? Identify your purpose here, that I might know what to put on thy tombstone. Dare you speak of me as a bandit when you commit such crimes as you do? What nonsense is this? Explain yourself before I dispense with thee. You hold this beauteous creature captive and still claim the moral high ground. It's a contradiction. No, this wondrous being is my love of my life. I would be hers as well, but it takes time. She will grow to care for me as I care for her. One does not cage those that he cares for. Look unto me, Ragefast. My beauty fades even now. Abella, thy beauty is as brilliant as the day I found you. Say no such things. 'Tis flattering, but you're blinded by your passion. Truly see what has become of me. I should not age, but my spirit fades in this ugly place. Yours does as well, but from obsession over me. But we were meant for each other. The very words you said so. In my glade amidst the stars and moon, 'twas beauty in that, but I can't be confined with thee. I'm not human, and this is not my home. She will die with you. Free her if you truly feel as you do. I have become a fool.
Alright, so here's a question. Was it Ramazith or Ragefast that has the ring that I'm looking for? I can't remember which one it was. Either way, it's pickpocketable, so we're gonna go talk to Ramazith again. Oh shit. We're gonna reload because I want to deal with that later, if at all. I forgot that going there would trigger that, so go here, I guess. And why is everyone so depressed? This is supposed to be a happy occasion. And it looks like we can get through here, so... Ah, yes, so there is this tower here. You need not say that you betrayed for I scry and spy. Certainly you are foolish to have come here after breaking our deal. Indeed. So you... So this is 2 mustard jellies. This is a shit ton of ghasts. This is a bunch of hobgoblin elites. This is a bunch of kobolds. And this is 1 ornery mage. Oops. Mistakes were made. Illusion dispelled instantaneously. Get wrecked, scrub. Do we want to hold person on him? Why not? Oh my god, we got him with a hold person. Wow. Kalisa MVP. She dispels his invis. And this is what I was looking for. Okay. She dispelled his invis, and then after dispelling his invis, she just casts hold person and incapacitates him. Get wrecked, scrub. So I'm not going to bother fighting all the things on the way up here, I don't think. Let's see. Does she have the... Yes, she does. So we can go ahead and put these things into our scroll case, which we can then use later. Blur and Mirror Image are both very potent spells to have. Oh, maybe I should actually have detected traps, but it doesn't matter. Okay. Got a Wand of Paralyzation, I think. And there it is. That's what we're looking for. So we're going to drop this stick. Anything else that we need? Alright, I don't think so. I don't think we're done looting the place. No, we should definitely take those scrolls. What do I want to do here? I don't really have a place to put them, so we will just drop the hammer on the ground temporarily. It's very nice having a character that I can use to identify everything and just not having to worry about the the identify item scrolls. Alright, so we're now invisible. We can just pop right back downstairs. There we go. Mission successful. So, we've now obtained a couple of important things. The first thing is we've got the Tome of Clear Thought. So the Tome of Clear Thought can be used with anyone, really. Any of them could do it. I think I'm going to give it to Silria. just for the hell of it. It doesn't make a huge difference, so we're just going to give it to her. Now, the Guard's Ring +2 gives +2 AC and +2 to saving throws. Now that is going to be very powerful because it basically allows us to do this. So we're going to swap this setup around a little bit. And do here. We've given her the +2. Now give you the +2. You can get this. And so now her base armor class is -11. Not too shabby. So we can go ahead and get this. This is an extra 2nd level wizard spell. So that's basically an extra web or something similar. Do we want to get more webs? I think we do. Web is just really good. Let's see here. What else do we want? These are bracers of defense, AC 17. Yeah, 17. That would be very bad. Bracers of defense, AC 17 is shrubs. And let's see here. That would actually be a really cool cursed item. Bracers of defense, AC 17, where it's like it just cripples your AC. What I could do is I could give this ring here to Yeslik. Giving the ring to Yeslik would be hypothetically quite strong and help me out a bit. Because if I give that to Yeslik, then I have the ability to put the Ring of Free action on her in addition to all these other effects. So -11 AC and another -4 versus crushing. And 9 versus missile. 3 versus piercing, 4 versus slashing. So we're going to be able to get our base AC to -12 soon. We're not quite there yet, but we're going to be able to eventually. The other question is, am I going to want to turn Suri into my tank at some point? No, because she's not going to be able to get Stone Skin. So with no Stone Skin, there's no real reason to do that. You have Stone Skin memorized. We have the spell sequencer. And I think we're done in Baldur's Gate for now. So it is 1:41. I think, since I don't know when I'm going to be popping out of here. And by here, I mean my country and home. Come. There we go. Since I don't know when I'm going to be leaving, I don't know if I'm leaving tonight or if I'm leaving tomorrow. I know that I'm leaving tomorrow. I just don't know whether it's at 2 o'clock in the morning or not or something like that. But I'm pretty sure that I'm leaving tomorrow. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end things here for now so that I can get some stuff sort of prepared for me to leave. So we will be doing the Durlag's Tower stuff in Canada. I will most likely be streaming in the mornings in Canada as well. I stream in the mornings in large part because if I get up early, then I can stream before other people are awake, and I can sort of get my productive work done before any social stuff goes down. Whereas in the evening, people tend to be wanting to do stuff. So I will probably be sort of like on the inverse cycle, is my guess, for when I'm streaming in Canada. So there will be some disruption to the stream schedule. There's going to be massive disruption to the stream schedule. We'll see how much time I'm able to do. I'm going to hope to be able to do at least a couple hours every day. But in addition, this is another thing, is typically if you are in the Americas, I stream Sunday to Thursday because of the fact that I live in the future. So I stream Monday through Friday in the mornings. In Canada, I will not be doing that. I will be doing Monday to Friday. So since I'll be doing Monday to Friday, that will it'll change things a little bit. Doesn't change my. If I'm doing the exact same schedule, it won't change anything for me, but it changes things for everyone else. But anyway, that is going to be it for today. Thank you everyone for watching. It has been a pleasure streaming for you today. I do apologize about the completely mislabeled title of this, but sometimes you gotta title things without realizing that, oh wait, that wasn't what I was intending to do. Later, folks.